Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to start with numerical integration. So in many cases, finding the exact value of a definite integral analytically is either very difficult or impossible due to complexity of the functions. Numerical integration provides approximate solutions by evaluating the function at specific points. So why do we need numerical integration? Firstly, when the integrand has no elementary antiderivative. Next, when function data is available only in tabulated form. And lastly, to reduce computational complexity. Taking on to the quick definition of numerical integration, let's say we are given a definite integral I equals integration a to b fx dx. The numerical integration methods approximate this integral using weighted sums of function values at specific points in the interval a-b. Let's start with the Newton-Cotes formulas, which form the base of most numerical integration techniques. The idea is simple. We approximate the function by a polynomial using interpolation, and then integrate the polynomial instead. We divide the interval AB into equal subintervals and apply weights to function values at equally spaced points. It's like drawing straight or curved lines under your graph and calculating the area. This gives the rise to well-known methods like the trapezoidal rule and Simpson's rules. First up, the trapezoidal rule. This method connects the function values with straight lines and assumes the area under each pair of points is a trapezoidal, hence the name. Imagine plotting a curve and then drawing straight lines between adjacent points. The areas you get looks like trapezoids. So to estimate the integral, we calculate the area of each trapezoid and sum them all. The formula looks like integration a to b fx dx nearly equals to h by 2 fx naught plus 2fx1 plus 2fx2, and it continues to the term until 2fxn minus 1 plus fxn is achieved. Here, h is the width of each subinterval, that's b minus a divided by n. This method is simple, fast, and works well when the function is relatively smooth. But keep in mind, it's only using linear approximations, so it might not capture sharp curves or non-linearity very accurately. Now, let's move on to something more accurate, the Simpson's 1/3 rule. Instead of drawing straight lines, this rule fits parabolas between every 3 consecutive points. That gives us a better approximation for curves, especially when function has some curvature or complexity. Here's the formula that goes like integration a to b fx dx, that is nearly equals to h by 3 fx naught plus 4 fx1 plus 2 fx2, and that continues to the term 4f xn minus 1 plus fxn. Notice the pattern? The coefficients alternate between 4 and 2, except at the ends. This rule requires that the number of intervals n is even. It's significantly more accurate than the trapezoidal rule for many functions, especially polynomials up to degree 3, because we are now fitting quadratic curves instead of straight lines. Now there's a variation, the Simpson's 3 by 8 rule. It's another Newton-Cotes formula, but instead of 2 points or an even number of intervals, it works with a set of 3 subintervals. So n must be a multiple of 3. Here's the formula. Integration a to b fx dx nearly equals to 3h by 8 fx naught plus 3fx1 plus 3fx2 plus 2fx3, and this goes on to the term fxn. This method is particularly useful when the number of intervals doesn't suit the 1/3 rule or when slightly more precision is required. It's a bit more computationally intensive, but you gain better accuracy with higher degree polynomial approximations. Alright, Now we get into more advanced territory with Romberg's integration. This method takes the trapezoidal rule and repeatedly refines it using something called Richardson extrapolation. What's that? Basically, we use a smart recursive formula to eliminate error terms and get a highly accurate estimate of the integral and fast. You start by computing trapezoidal approximations at step sizes h, h by 2, h by 4, and so on. Then you combine those values in a table to extrapolate a better estimate. And the formula for this goes like Rkj equals Rkj minus 1 plus 1 divided by 4 to the power j minus 1. And in brackets we have Rkj minus 1 minus Rk minus 1 and j minus 1. Yes, it looks intense, but it's extremely powerful. You will often find this in scientific computing tools because of its efficiency and accuracy for smooth functions. Now let's talk about the powerful, highly efficient method, Gaussian quadrature. This technique doesn't use equally spaced points like Newton-Cotes formulas. Instead, it selects optimal points and weights on Legendre polynomials, maximizing accuracy for a given number of evaluations. Here's how it works in standard form. Integration minus 1 to 1 fx dx, that is nearly equals to summation I equals 1 to n omega I f xi, where xi are the roots of the Legendre polynomial and omega I are the associated weights. A pure integral is over an interval other than minus 1 to 1. You simply transform it. This method gives extremely accurate results, often far superior to the trapezoidal or Simpson's rule. But it requires knowing the roots and weights in advance, which are usually recalculated. Before we wrap up, let's talk about errors, because every numerical method has limitations. Each of these rules introduces some errors based on how smooth the function is, how many subintervals we use, and what degree of polynomial we fit. For instance, the trapezoidal rule has an error term proportional to 1 by n square. Simpson's rule improved that to 1 by n to the power 4. Romberg and Gaussian quadrature offer even better accuracy due to smart extrapolation and optimal sampling. So the smoother the function and the more sophisticated the method, the smaller the error is. Let's sum up it all with the comparison. Use trapezoidal rule when you need a quick, simple approximation. Simpson's 1 by 3 rule is better when you want accuracy and your function is well behaved. Simpson's 3 by 8 rule comes in handy when the number of intervals is divisible by 3. Romberg's integration is your go-to for high precision without crazy computations. Gaussian quadrature is optimal when function evaluations are costly and high precision is required. Each of these methods has its strengths, and knowing when to use which method is key to mastering numerical integration. So that's all for this video about numerical integration. In the next video, we will pick up some other topic from computational methods. And if you found this video helpful, do give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, happy learning!